Hey guys, this is Jose Chavez here with another, I'd say, well actually not another, but my first tutorial slash overview of the summer. And what I'm going to be doing here is giving everyone out there, who has questions about what are the best applications for movie making and what are the pros and cons of each application to making movies, to making audio tracks. I'm going to be going over an overview so I can maybe answer some of your questions. So, as you know from my channel, I use a lot of different. You might have guessed that I use a lot of different software for all my movies. So I'm going to start off with some of the basic stuff that I'd say all Mac users have, in which they can create even the simplest forms of movies, and it's called iMovie. I'm iMovie is a pretty useful tool that a lot of people use still today, and it's probably in my opinion, one of the most basic movie making applications for Mac there is. And to be honest, I really think it's not all too well with advanced stuff. Well, I mean, I do a little bit more advanced stuff than what iMovie is capable of, but other than that, has pretty has a pretty simple workflow. Some stuff does get complicated, but that's if you like go into some different settings and stuff. So all the updates that they've had recently has so far I think improved it. I'm gonna update later. But anyway, here's your library. You can start, you know, if you open it up, you can start by importing stuff from, let's say, a camera, or you know, if you plug in your camera to the computer, maybe to the side, or maybe like even a disc, like a SanDisk, you can import your media. And that's what you kind of want to do for. And I guess, I mean, you can literally import anything that's on your desktop, or maybe just in your Mac, just as well. Anything on your key, on it, like, I have some footage here on my key, even some audio. iMovie does import audio, and you can add some video to it, or if you just want to like mess around and stuff, so like a backup and that stuff. So that's the cool thing about it. It's pretty simple. Other than that, the only thing I know iMovie had this when I was using it a couple years back. It freezes a lot, especially during video transitions. So like you'll add a video here and it'll stop and freeze and move on to the next video. So that's the thing I really didn't like about iMovie. Other than that, there's just not a lot of stuff to do with it if you're gonna be, doing some complex video work here, you know. But it is simple for all you guys starting out there in the movie world. So that's iMovie. For music, GarageBand, I'd say it's the easiest one for me. I mean, I use GarageBand a little bit. It is a very versatile app. So we just open it up here. We can see all the different uses. It has a lot of, simple stuff, that really you don't need a lot of complex materials to record audio with. I have 3 audio recording softwares that, I barely use because I'm not much of an audio. I'm a video guy. One of them is GarageBand, Adobe Audition from Creative Cloud. I got the Creative Cloud. It's actually a very good deal. You get all the applications you want for only, well, if you get the student version like me, I got $20 a month for everything Adobe makes. So, like, I have all these projects here, and what the cool thing about GarageBand is that you have a lot of different loops that you can mess with. Let's say you're starting out, you can make stuff with the keyboard that they have on there, with like your keyboard on the Mac and the keyboard here. It does work with making movies. So these iMovie and GarageBand are very integrated. So in case you wanted to make something simple, make something with just simple loops in the background, then that's the cool. You can record stuff like a voice. It'll use your built-in microphone, or you can actually plug in an electric guitar and it'll give you amps to mess around with and record in here. So that's pretty cool. And it has like some little demos and stuff that you can use, but that's a given. That's GarageBand. iPhoto, it's a good tool to like store your photos and videos, and which you can put in later to iMovie or I say GarageBand. So it's pretty simple. There's just like albums, and then you have pictures. You import them from folders and all that stuff. So not really that hard. Yeah, very easy tool. Okay, so the next tool I'm using this right now, screen record utility. You know, if you're gonna make tutorials, you gotta have something to record your screen. This is okay. So now it's onto the Adobe part. This is Creative Cloud. I'll open it up here, show you what it looks like. You know, I say for anyone that's going into more advanced, movie making, like simple video making, I greatly recommend Creative Cloud. It is, you get a good deal for all these applications that if you were to buy individually, it'd be costing, $3,000 or maybe. So instead of $20 a month for all these, and you get all the latest versions too. So this is like, for Adobe, this is like CS6 but more. So what I have here is Adobe Premiere Pro. This is it's actually way more advanced than iMovie, and it's movie making. After Effects does video editing, like VFX and all that stuff that you would use if in case. Photoshop is for photos. SpeedGrade is a very interesting application. Okay, so this is Adobe. It's a very wide application. There's a lot of buttons down here, and there's a lot of effects that you can use. There's so many things that you can do with Adobe After Effects. I'm sure even the pros in the industry probably use this as well. You got all these effects that you can do just to video, and you can mess around. Like, I've used muzzle flashes and guns. So what you would do is, here's your project panel. You can bring in any footage you want in here, even audio setting. You can actually put it in audio setting. You drag it onto your comp. You zoom in, and so here's your video. And so you can put anything. Like, this video's already been made, and I added a muzzle flash before. Pretty simple. If you have picture, you can even add, to get effects on Adobe After Effects. Like, here's the basic stuff. Like, you could distort, some color correction, channel settings. There's just a lot of stuff to be used with it, really. And you can render. It's pretty simple rendering tools. You can make your cameras down here, and you can mess up with, you can do whatever you want here. I'm not going to go too depth. This is just an overview. I'm not going to save changes. So Premiere Pro, I can open up Premiere Pro. This is your movie putting together software. So that's the cool thing about it. It is, in my opinion, it's a little difficult to use at first. So if you get it, and if you don't take some time to really watch some tutorials on how to do stuff, you're gonna be pretty frustrated at first. I know I was experimenting with it, and I just couldn't get the videos I wanted. Even this is my first year having it, and so I'm very used to Final Cut Pro, which is a lot more advanced. I'm gonna get into that later. So I just want to show you what Premiere Pro looks like. Oh, come on. That was four squid. Okay, and don't reopen. I don't really need to create a new project. So first thing it does, you can say what's your render, your time code, and your capture format. Pretty basic stuff to any versatile stuff. So, okay. So it has two panels. One is for your clips and to previewing your clips, and the other one is the final project. But here's your media to drop your sequence. It's like your timeline. Here's your project. Here's your import media. Here's your media browser. It's like importing effects. You can do some audio effects, video effects. There's a lot of different stuff in here. Very useful. Markers and history. That's pretty much the basics. It takes a while to get used to, trust me. Photoshop for Creative Cloud I use it a lot for like editing photos, but what you really love about Photoshop is you literally do anything, just not with videos, of course. Photoshop is like magic to any other photo. Like, I could take a photo that was overexposed or maybe too dark, and I can mess around with the brightness here. So all these adjustments that they have back here, it's very useful. You got let me bring in the photo right now. When I went to Orlando, I'll show you an example of like a really messed up photo you can fix instantly, like this one here. The good thing, okay, so Photoshop here's the main thing. You can mess. Photoshop is a lot better for when you're shooting cameras in RAW. Like, not all cameras shoot in RAW. I know the iPhone doesn't shoot RAW, and but the other most 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 Canon cameras come with RAW. They have so here's a picture of this is her face is overexposed, but you can literally just this is magic. It'll make it look like you've never done. You can even add and all these adjustments. You got level, brightness, levels, curves, exposure, vibrance, color lookup, channel mixer, all this stuff. Very useful. You can crop it. You can maybe do some other stuff with masking tools. But really useful for all you picture lovers out there. But remember, always shoot RAW if you're gonna have it. Use Photoshop. You know? There's some, you know, Nikon and Canon cameras have it. No, iPhone doesn't. So we're gonna quit that. Speed grade comes in handy a lot, especially if you really want to get a sense of movie look to your productions. So, and of course, there's other Creative Cloud applications, but these are the ones that are the biggest ones and probably the ones most used. I'm not gonna open a project. All right, so it's loading. Exit. No, just exit. Okay, so speed grade. I do want to open it up. Never mind. I'm just gonna create a new project. So here we go. Here you can import all your stuff from like your desktop, all the folders, all the footage, any footage that you have in your folder. Excuse me. I have a pretty bad cough right now. So any footage that you have, even pictures, you can do stuff. But if you were to take video, if you were to edit this video, speed grade is really good for getting that nice movie look. And I can show you how to do it. It's very good with color. It's very good with color correction, and that's what it was made for. And if we go out here, you can do color, and you can if once you have a video here, it's gonna mess around with color. So you can go around here, view, format, reuse, color space, defaults. These are all useful. If you just mess around with them to get what you want, you're gonna get all the color that you'll probably need to making color correction. So that's cool. With speed grade, comes in handy. Yes. No, I'm not gonna save changes. Actually, no. With speed grade. Oh, come on. Okay. Audition. Let me open up Audition here. Audition is like advanced, way more advanced than GarageBand. But here's the thing: these applications down here, Soundtrack, Pro, and Audition, aren't as easy to use and easy to get used to than GarageBand. GarageBand has a lot more loops, I think. No, actually, Soundtrack has a lot more loops than GarageBand. It's hard to like mix in the stuff. It's just very professional. Unless you're like a super professional audio mixing, then it's gonna come rare. It's probably one of the best applications you'll probably need if you're really good at audio mixing. For DJs and stuff, messing with audio, these three are like super important. So if you were to do a new track, multi-track, you can add tracks basically. So it's pretty cool. You can revert. There's a lot of effects that you could do with video. Not video. Well, actually, you can do video. You could. Here's the cool thing about these programs. You can add a video and you can mix your audio in this, and it'll show up in the video. All you do is render it out from there. Same thing with Soundtrack Pro. So those are the Adobe ones. My favorite out of all of them, actually, my first favorite one is Final Cut Pro 7. This is the best Final Cut Pro out there is. They actually don't sell it anymore. I managed to get it off, for a pretty good deal. It's all about where you find it, and maybe people who have the CD who haven't used it yet, and you put it on there. So Final Cut Pro takes, I'd say, a couple hours to get used to, but other than that, it becomes super useful in any video production. I mean, you can do this has everything. I'm going to show you guys. You can log and capture with your camera on the Mac, or log and transfer. You can literally just import directly to Final Cut, and it'll save it on your computer for you. So you can export it so many different versions. There's a lot of stuff, and right back here, there's a lot of stuff that you can use for exporting. For different, if you're gonna put it on a projector, or put it on a key, or put it on a CD, or maybe put it on your phone, it come really in handy. So I'm just gonna cancel. There's a lot of tools, a lot of different controls. Analyze movie, clip, file, cinema tools, long frames, a lot of different video effects, very useful. Audio transitions, video filters, audio filters, master templates of availability, sequence, render all. There's really easy render settings in here. That's what I like about it. So it comes pretty out fast. Depending on the speed of your computer, these can actually render it out really fast, and that's the cool thing about it. There's different templates, and there's change speed of the video if you want to do slow motion. When you shoot, maybe in 60 frames per second, you can change the speed, and it'll look actually really smooth. This is a lot of bits and a lot of RAM goes into this application here. And we got level and browser, arrange tags, audio loop, external video off. It's very useful. Get it. If you really want to get serious about movie making, get this program. Or even, I don't recommend X at all, because Final Cut Pro X, you'll find it, it'll maybe say, oh, it's very good and it's very useful. It's very, stuff like that. I don't recommend it. All it is, it's just a fancier movie of iMovie. No, fancier version of iMovie, which iMovie I think sucks if it gets to my level of movie making. So, unless you like the layout of iMovie and you really want to get more advanced with the iMovie stuff, then get Final Cut Pro X. It's available even on the App Store, and that's probably one out of the two versions available to buy. The other one is Final Cut Pro 6, which comes a lot. It's just a different version of this. Same idea. Motion. It's like Adobe After. You can't do as much with motion, though, in my opinion. This is a lot for 3D particles. And let's say you have an explosion in one of your videos, and you want to make smoke particles coming out. That's pretty useful. It is hard to get by. I know the controls I was playing around with the other day, and not very easier to use than Adobe. Adobe's a little bit more straightforward, and this one pretty complicated. So this is Creative Cloud. This is what I got from Creative Cloud. Comes from where I got this from is from the CD of Final Cut Pro 7. It comes with all these applications, mainly this one. So this is DVD Studio Pro. This is actually really helpful in creating how your DVDs are going to show up if you're going to make one. You plug in your DVD and there's like a menu on there. You want it to look all fancy. You want to have music in the background. This is super useful for stuff. I know Mac already comes with iDVD, but this is a lot more advanced. Cinema Tools is like a final thing, and let's say if you wanted to make it look older, or maybe if you want to give that final look out of any movie you want. So just mess around with the timelines here and all the video. Pretty cool. Color, I'd say it's kind of like SpeedGrade, but I think SpeedGrade is a little better just because, I say that just because I haven't used color at all. It's very complicated. More complicated. I can't really figure it out. Compressor is literally compress any video you want into different formats, and a soundtrack. So I got all that. And then there's a lot of simple stuff. Like I have Unraw X. Like I know, I download a lot of VFX resources, and a lot of them have to be, they have RAW, and you can Unraw X. Smart Converter, you convert any video you want to any format. RAW Loader, Handbrake, I don't know what happened. Free Video Downloader, that's for YouTube. And this one's Mocha. Mocha's pretty good at motion tracking and stuff. Well, anyways, that's my movie making applications overview. In case you had any basic questions on what each one does or how I use some of them. So subscribe, obviously, for more tutorials. I'm coming out with a lot of tutorials this summer. Maybe a tutorial on definite tutorial on, let's say, 3 aspects of After Effects, Photoshop as well, SpeedGrade, Final Cut, GarageBand. Not as much. I will be making music tutorials, like maybe if you want to know how to screamo or stuff like that. So make sure to watch it, and make sure to watch all my other short films. My biggest project that I'm going to start working on this summer is one called Escape. It's a very futuristic kind of, short film that I've done a lot of planning out on how it's going to look already. Very simply done, not too high end, not it's very going to be very low budget. So and that's for all the 3D models that I'm going to use it. Warning: I'm only going to use a couple actors. Excuse me if you watch my videos and obviously you hate because there's just like the same actor 5 times in the video. Alright guys, I don't have a car yet, so please don't judge me on my lack of transportation. I think my neighborhood is a good place for filmmaking. There's a lot of stuff. You can make a video anywhere. You could go to your local park, stuff like that. Maybe just film a video there to jungle gym or swings, or I don't know, whatever you want to do, depending on your movie. So, but yeah, be sure to check out my other videos, and thanks for watching.